Hey guys, Dr. Jim Stepani here, and in this video I want to discuss how to take pre-gym, pro-gym, and then post-gym around workouts. Now this is how I do it exactly, each workout. About 45 minutes before my workout, I start with pre-gym. Now when it comes to pre-gym, what I want to recommend you doing with your tub is, before you even open it, is to shake it up to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed and nothing has settled to the bottom. Remember, there's 13 different ingredients in pre-gym, 15 if you want to count each branched chain amino acid individually, but 13 ingredients all at proper doses. That's a 26.5 gram dose. You want to make sure they're all thoroughly mixed evenly when you put it in your scoop. So mix it up before you go in and get your scoop. Now if you want to be precise in getting exactly 26.5 grams, you can actually weigh it. So first you're going to tear your scooper. And this is just a simple kitchen scale. And then that way you can get precisely 26 grams, 26.5 grams. Mix it in. I use a good 20 to 24 ounces of water. Now, remember, this is not your typical pre-workout that's a 6 gram or 5 gram or even a 3 gram dose. This is 26.5 grams of ingredients here. You need a significant amount of water just for it to all go into solution. Remember, if you don't get the creatine and the beta-alanine into solution, and the other ingredients in pre-gym, and it's sitting on the bottom, well, the problem with that is creatine. Let's say creatine, for example. The reason that most people have stomach issues with creatine is because creatine pulls water into the intestines. So if it's not dissolved in the fluid when you drink it, those crystals are going to sit in your intestines and draw water, and that's going to give you explosive diarrhea. Now, creatine hydrochloride, which I have in pre-gym, is not as problematic for most people because you need a far smaller dose to get the same benefit from creatine monohydrate. 2 gram dose, I find pre and post workout is perfect on creatine hydrochloride. But you still want to make sure all the ingredients are in the solution so that you absorb them properly. So instead of just mixing pre-gym and then slugging it down, last thing you want to do, make sure, like I said, 20 to 24 ounces of water and mix it thoroughly. So what I do is I will sit and drink this now. I'll let this just sit for a good 50 minutes before I even start sipping on it, just to make sure that everything is into solution before I start drinking it. That way I absorb more of it. And then I'm going to drink it while I sit around. I'll go on Facebook and Twitter and start sipping on this over the next, say, 20, 30 minutes before my workout. Slowly sipping it. That way you absorb more of it and you get better benefits. Now, after I'm done drinking my pre-gym, pre-workout shake, I mix up my pro-gym protein shake. Now, instead of doing a scoop of pro-gym before my workout, like many do, I prefer to make one large pre, during, and post-workout shake. Nothing more than just for the convenience. I like drinking the protein shake during my workout. So I start it before and I drink it after. And I typically do somewhere around 2 to 2.5 scoops. Remember, each scoop of pro-gym is 24 grams of protein. So if you're doing 2 scoops, that's about 48 grams total. So So I shoot for, like I said, about 50 to 60 grams of protein to have, because that's going to serve as my pre-workout, my during workout, and my post-workout protein shake. So, with pre and post gym and pro gym, you don't really need an intra-workout. You could just do a scoop of pro gym right now as your pre-workout protein shake right around the same time that you're having your pre-gym, down that, and then go to the gym and sip on water during your workout, then have your pro gym and post-gym post-workout. I just happen to prefer doing it this way. It's the same. There's no true benefit of drinking this during the workout other than the fact that I have flavored fluid while I'm drinking out. There's no better flavored fluid than pro-gym protein. So I'll mix this up and I'll start drinking on this about 15 minutes before my workout. I'll probably have maybe a quarter of it or so, a quarter to a third, before my workout even starts. So if you drive to the gym, what I would do is, once I'm done with my pre-gym, I would mix up my pro-gym and then start sipping on it while I drive there. Like I said, only about a quarter to a third of it, and then I'll sip on it during the workout. So I swig down about another third to half during the workout, and then right at the end of the workout, I finish off the last third or quarter of my protein, my pro-gym protein shake. And then once I finish that, I go right in and mix my post-gym. Now then, when the workout's over and I finish my last sip of pro-gym, remember I use my pro-gym as a pre, a during, and then I drink the final bit as a post. And then once I've downed all my pro-gym post-workout, what's remaining, I finish off with post-gym. 1 packet of the Active Matrix, and 1 packet of the dextrose. Now, just like with pre-gym, with post-gym, again, you want to make sure that you're mixing it in plenty of fluid. I use a good 20 to 24 ounces of fluid to make sure that all that glutamine, the carnitine, the creatine, the beta-alanine, the betaine, all of it mixes well. So again, make sure you use enough water. And again, don't just mix this and start pounding it down. What I do is I'll mix it up, let it sit, keep mixing it for a good 10-15 minutes till it's completely into solution, that all of those active ingredients are dissolved. And then, even then, I won't just pound it right down. I'll sip on this over the course of 15 to 30 minutes. And then you're done. You've just covered all your bases on your pre and your post-workout nutrition. Everything you need, from the creatine to the beta-alanine, the betaine, the protein, everything with those 3 products: pre-gym, pro-gym, and post-gym.